Rachel's gaze lingered on him, doubtful but unwilling to push further. Meanwhile, Zara was acutely aware of Jaden's lingering glances. She had come prepared for his games, but the tension between them was sharper than she had expected. Beneath the surface bitterness, she sensed something deeper, something unresolved. As the evening wound down, Zara stepped onto the terrace, seeking a moment of quiet. The cool night air brushed against her skin, a welcome escape from the warmth of the ballroom. She gazed out at the moonlit gardens, lost in thought, when Jaden's voice broke the silence. "I figured I'd find you out here," he said. Zara didn't turn to face him, her posture calm, but her tone sharp. "Did you come to gloat, Jaden? Or is this another part of your plan to remind me what I left behind?" Jaden stepped closer, his usual confidence faltering. "You think you've got me all figured out, don't you?" Finally, she turned to meet his gaze, her eyes steady and unyielding. "I don't have to figure you out. You haven't changed, Jaden. You're still trying to prove yourself to everyone, even to me." Her words struck a nerve. Jaden bristled, his voice hardening. "And you're still pretending to be above it all. If that were true, you wouldn't have come." Zara crossed her arms, her stare unwavering. "You invited me, Jaden. You wanted something, but you're not going to get it." Jaden's frustration bubbled to the surface. "You don't know what I want." Zara stepped closer, her voice steady and pointed. "Maybe I don't. But I know this. It isn't revenge you're after. Whatever you think this is, it's not about me. It's about you and the things you're too scared to face." Her words lingered in the air as she turned and walked back inside, leaving Jaden alone on the terrace with his thoughts. The weight of her accusations bore down on him, heavier than he was willing to admit. The next morning, the estate buzzed with activity. The wedding staff hurried to perfect every detail, while guests mingled in anticipation of the grand ceremony. Jaden moved through the preparations like a man on autopilot, his polished exterior betraying none of the storm within. Rachel found him in the lounge, adjusting his tie in front of a gilded mirror. She placed a hand on his arm, her expression concerned. "You seem tense," she said. "I'm fine," Jaden replied curtly, brushing her hand away. Rachel's eyes narrowed. "Jaden, what's going on? You've been distant since the rehearsal dinner." He hesitated, searching for the right words. "It's nothing, just nerves." Rachel's smile tightened, doubt flashing in her eyes. "If there's something you're not telling me, now's the time." Before he could answer, a staff member appeared at the door. "The ceremony is about to begin," they announced. Rachel's eyes lingered on him, but she turned to leave, her expression unreadable. Jaden, left alone for a fleeting moment, stared at his reflection in the gilded mirror, the weight of everything crashing down as he prepared to face the day ahead. Jaden exhaled, grateful for the brief reprieve, but Rachel's lingering gaze had made one thing clear. Their conversation wasn't over. As the guests took their seats in the beautifully adorned garden, Jaden stood at the altar, the weight of the moment pressing down on him. The soft strains of a string quartet blended with the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze. Rachel began her walk down the aisle, radiant in her gown, every detail of her appearance curated to perfection. Yet Jaden's attention drifted. His gaze landed on the second row, where Zara sat quietly. She wasn't trying to stand out. She never did. And yet, she commanded attention effortlessly. Her presence was like a mirror, reflecting back all the insecurities and doubts Jaden had fought so hard to bury. The ceremony began, but the officiant's words blurred into white noise in Jaden's mind. When it came time for the vows, Rachel turned to him, her eyes brimming with love and expectation. "Jaden, she said softly, her voice prompting him to speak. He opened his mouth, but the words wouldn't come. Instead, his eyes flickered to Zara. Her expression was unreadable, but steady. And in that moment, clarity struck him with the force of a thunderbolt. This wasn't about Rachel. It wasn't about revenge or even about Zara. It was about him, the emptiness he had been trying to fill with power, wealth, and control. "Jaden," Rachel repeated, her voice sharper now, tinged with confusion. He faltered, his gaze dropping to the ground. The guests shifted uncomfortably in their seats, whispers rippling through the crowd like waves. The tension in the air was suffocating. Rachel's face shifted from confusion to realization, her voice breaking as she asked, "What's going on?"